This is testing grounds to see if audio is working fine. Repeat, this is testing grounds to see if audio is working just fine as video capture. As of currently, video capture is not working to where we need to. We are going to go back into Minecraft world, or in this case, we're going to create another one. We're going to create, please select world, edit, cancel, create a new one. This one will just be a normal survival one. Terrain is loading in. Okay. Unsure if video graphics can actually comprehend it. Voice is still being interactive. Increasing voice volume to see if that needs to occur. Voice volume has increased. Voice volume lowering down. Slightly a little bit more. Within the yellow, getting towards the higher end of yellow. Lowering it down into the green. Keep lowering it. Lowering it some more. Lowering it some more. About right there. We are currently looking at 63 for the volume, or 0.63. For the desktop will be slightly lower or higher to checking 50. Moving back to Minecraft, playing it. No signs or tells if video is doing fine. Further analysis of the video will have to be observed and looked at. Nothing happened. Pausing. Stopping video to see if test is okay. Streamlabs further analysis on audio alone. Moving towards background music and Minecraft. Going 100%. Testing for audio now. Thus concludes the trial of the test. Test number 3, trying to eliminate certain audios. In this case, keyboard and mouse tends to be louder than the actual audio for desktop. Increasing volume for desktop now. Currently 0.84 for desktop audio. As for mic and aux, currently still sitting at 0.63. Begin test now. Beginning talking sequence during crafting. Testing to see if volume changes. Switching to casual talk. Interesting enough, I'm happy to see that this is actually working fine. I'm currently just right now trying to gather resources with spruce wood. I got a couple of spruce saplings, in this case 4. Wild berries, so we got something to at least work off of. Oh, they changed it to sweet berries instead of just berries. Or was it always sweet berries? Yeah, very interesting. We got at least a seedling, some more trees to work around, so not the best location to spawn in, but at least we have some type of resource and food that we can at least use and plant. So that's a nice natural burial protection. We do have some foxes around, so biggest thing to worry about is since this is in a forest, or in this case a spruce forest, we have to be on our best behavior of not trying to die. So collection of materials probably more surprise. I'm amazed that they get. Oh wow. Okay, so in different regions, different particular types of wolves will be there. How interesting. So different colorations. Very gradient of them to do. I wonder if this also applies with the chickens and cows. Just imagine we're seeing then zombies wear customizable things. It could happen in the future, with each biome having a unique set of zombie skins or skeleton skins, so on and so forth. That should conclude our testing segment for now. Test number 4. Concluding other particular filters to actually see if different relationships do work. Threshold. Current threshold in which I'm seeing that actually might be one to overlook is the threshold past possibly 0.89 is the threshold. Right now, testing to see what would happen if I just were to type. Unsure typing sound is still concurring. Lowering threshold. Or increasing threshold. Seeing if that will do anything with the threshold. Testing to see if anything else worked. Inconclusive for the compression of seeing if audio has been adjusted accordingly and correctly. Reviewing audio as of now, taking a look at tools and filters. Noise suppression at a -30. We will go with good quality with noise suppression. Grain. Unsure what happens when increasing grain from 0.0 to 10.2. Increasing grain all the way. Decreasing grain all the way. Increasing grain to +30. Decreasing grain to -30. Placing grain back to 0. Grain is back at 0. Grain again, back to 15. -15 for the grain. Moving to -15. Dropping down. -17. -16. -15. Back up. 18. 19. 20. Limiter. Threshold. Release. Increasing. Release going to 600. Release at 220. Release at 800. Threshold increasing or decreasing, negative 22.3. Threshold increasing, 0. Threshold decreasing, negative 7.4. Invert polarity, not except not able to use, not available. Ending testing to see what occurred and has happened with volume. This is test number 6, I believe. In previous tests, for test number 5, we had played around with multiple different things for the mic/aux for the filters, and it appears that grain does a very huge effect. Now playing with the multiple different types of grain to see where we're at. Currently, we are at grain 20. We are going to decrease it. Grain is set to 0. Grain is set to negative 1. Grain is set to negative 2. Grain is set to negative 3. Grain is set to negative 4. Grain is set to negative 5. Grain is set to negative 6. Grain is set to negative 7. Grain is set to negative 8. Grain is set to negative 9. Grain is set to negative 10. Grain is set to negative 11. Grain is set to negative 12. Grain is set at negative 13. Negative 14. Negative 15. Negative 15 again. Negative 16. Negative 17. Negative 18. Negative 19. Negative 20. Ending test right now. Test number 7. Current test had resulted that negative 2 grain to negative 3 grain appears to be optimal for use. Increasing volume to see if this is true. Mic/aux volume is currently set at 0.7. Currently reaching the yellow marker, still within the green, but everything's still functioning within range. Current settings on mic/aux. Current noise noise suppression is currently at RN noise, good quality, more CPU usage. Grain is currently at negative 3. Compressor ratio is equal to 10. Threshold is negative 7.9. Attack is 6. Release is 60. Output grain 0. Sidechain/ducking source none. Limiter threshold is equal to negative 7.4. Release 800. Unable to understand what these limiters are doing. Invert polarity not available. Expender preset expender. Ratio 2. Threshold negative 40. Attack 10. Release 50. Output 0. Detection RMS. Unsure what these are. Thus concluding test to see if audio is understandable. Test back up with mic occurring to check to see if everything is ready. We are still getting an echo. Echo filters, I'm unaware. Testing to see what we can do. We have noise suppression on. Grain is on at -3, which should be okay. Thus, believing that this could be the threshold that possibly is doing anything. Setting threshold right now to equal grounds. Threshold is at 0. Threshold is at 0. Threshold is at -5. -10 for threshold. -20 for threshold. -30 for threshold. -25 for threshold. -15 for threshold. Back to 0 threshold. Compressor threshold setting. Compressor threshold setting. Testing for compressor threshold setting. Overlooking threshold setting for compression. Bringing back on filters. Compressor threshold setting. Changing threshold to -20. Dropping down or increasing in this case, -19, -18, -17, -16, -15, -14, -13, -12, -11, -10, increasing, -21, or in this case decreasing, -22, -23, -24, -25. Testing to see the ranges to see which one fits properly for threshold compressor. Tests have resulted that for mic/aux filter compressor threshold to be -22. Fluctuation may depend and vary and could go to -21. Compressor, checking ratio for attack. Attack at 1. Attack at 6. Attack at 20. Attack at 50. Attack at 100. Attack at 200. Attack at 300. Attack at 400. Attack at 500. Testing for compressor attack. Test result has concluded that mic/aux filters for compressor attack may range between supposedly from 5 or 6 to 20. Testing for attack for 25. Checking to see if anything is okay or needs to be changed. We are currently struggling with a echo effect. This echo effect is still showing up within the mic/aux setting. However, unaware of where this particular setting might be of how to eliminate or compress this echo to being filtered out, if at all possible, from different filters. We are still within the compressor, so this might be the output grain, or it could be a release. We could check for the release. The check seems to at least get the echo effect and the voice of how high it could get, which can be beneficial, but needs to be looked at a little bit further. Testing for the release to see if any results may change. Current release is at 60. Release is going to increase 200. Release at 200. Release is at 500. Release at 500. Release is at 700. Release is at 700. Release is at 800. Release at 800. Release at 900. Release at 900. Release at 1000. Release at 1000. Unsure how this release effect, but will conclude when looking over recording. Release has proven to be actually beneficial when eliminating echo when looking at recording. Recording has proven to show that release is best to be around the 900 to 800 range. Mic/aux output for filters, editing filters, compressor to be released, release moving to 850. Moving on to output grain. Current output grain is 0. Decreasing output grain to -2. Decreasing to -4, -4, decreasing to -6, -6, decreasing to -8, -8, decreasing to -10, -10. Decrease to -10, decrease to -20, -20, decrease to -30, increase to +30, increase to +30, increase to +30, increase to +20, increase to +10, +5, 0. Thus concluding the output grain or compressor. Thus concluding the output grain or compressor. Output grain has proven to be slightly helpful. Moving output grain, filters, editor. Moving to compressor, output grain. Moving to output grain to +5. Output grain is at +5. Output grain is at +5. Moving output grain to +10. Output grain at +10. Output grain at +10. Moving to output grain to +20. Out at +20. Output grain at +20. Moving to output grain to +15. Output grain at +15. Output grain at +15. Moving to output grain at +10. Output grain at +10. Output grain at +10. Testing to see if this is best choice. Output grain has been proven to actually work. Moving output grain. Moving towards edit filters. Compressor. Output grain to be moved to +5. Output grain to be at +5. Sidechain/ducking source. Unsure what to do or what to place. Therefore, touching. Moving on to limiter. Limiter threshold currently at -7.4. Moving threshold down to 0. Threshold is at 0 for limiter. Threshold is at 0 for limiter. Moving threshold to -10. Threshold at -10 for limiter. Threshold at -10 for limiter. -30. Threshold is at -30 for limiter. Threshold is at -30 for limiter. -40. -50. -20 for threshold. -20 for threshold. Testing for threshold limiter. Testing for threshold limiter. Threshold. Testing for mic/aux threshold. Limiter. Threshold limit to be at -20. Threshold at -20. Threshold at -20. Threshold at -10. Threshold at -10. Threshold at -15. Threshold at -15. Threshold at -25. Threshold at -25. Threshold at 10. -10. Threshold at -10. Threshold at -20. Threshold at -20. Testing for threshold limiter. Double checking for threshold at -10 for limiter. -10 for limiter for threshold. -10 for threshold. -10 for threshold. Current release for mic/aux for limiter 800. Changing to 500. Release at 500. Release at 100. Release at 100. Release at 500. Release at 400. Release at 800. Release at 900. Release at 900. Release at 800. Release at 800. Release at 700. Release at 700. Release at 500. Release at 400. Release at 400. Release at 100. Release at 100. Testing for release limiter. Release currently at 500. Release currently at 500 for limiter. Unsure if anything needs to be custom for. Currently testing with voice right now. Putting back on Minecraft noises to see if test is applicable. Seeing if we are at the correct volume to play. So let's hop back into it. Music is not on. We're going to put music on for Minecraft. Add 50%. Increasing to 100 for the volume in Minecraft. Unsure if that has done anything. Unsure if volume is working well. but this is the recording test to see if all is okay. Currently playing decent. No misconceptions. No glitching. Frames are not dropping. So that appears to be good. Everything seems to be alright. The sounds appear to be okay. Everything seems to be intact. This is all for vanilla Minecraft. No hiccups. Everything's working. Turning down volume. Concluding test. Increasing overall mic volume / aux volume to 0.9 to see if effect is being made. Currently turning back on Minecraft to see if test is still applicable. Seeing if everything is good. Starting out with 50% volume of Minecraft. 50% volume. Minecraft is on. Voice chat is going. Continuing out segment. Looking for different pitches within it to see if this is going to be echoey or having any particular types of delays or echoes that are unheard. Clicking and mashing buttons on keyboard to see if they are heard too loud. Breaking blocks. Talking. Destroying a branch or trying to get a branch or a stick. So basically these bushes. Looks like everything is okay. Everything's working. Everything is going well. Nice.
Sticks. Let's see. We had a pasta salad that my mom made, and with strawberries.
Okay. So, okay. Testing appears to be okay and working well. I'm unsure if this is going to be the correct volume, but still just seeing if everything is working. If we're within the range and everything is working the way we want it to, I shouldn't be getting too much bad feedback. Testing out with new particular earphones, they surprisingly are working well to being a mic. Turns out these are extraordinarily great to use. Using the other speakerphone has actually been a limiting factor of having to learn how the audio can be adjusted. This particular speaker that I was using was a home phone speaker, which made me sound as if I am extraordinarily far away or everything is just an old mic. They might be using old mic technology. The speaker itself does use a micro USB, so that is fitting of it. Ending testing. Testing again. Looking to improve to see if lowering down volume to 0.75 is effective. Touching keyboard. Moving keys. Increasing volume to gain 100%. Appears that everything is going well. Limiter is working the way it is intended to. Overall volume seems to be okay. We are not reaching past too many yellow points on it. just at least one yellow point. Looking good. Seems to be running functionally well. We do still have a bit of an echo, so we might need to look at compressor or release to see if we can play it differently. But this should be working. I have placed compressor for the filter of... My mistake, I had it backwards. I placed the threshold for the compressor filter to negative 25. This should at least eliminate some type of echo that is occurring. I will go ahead and decrease the grain down to 4 as well in the compressor setting. See if that does anything when going back to Minecraft. Minecraft sounds to be good. Like everything is okay. Doesn't appear to be too loud. Just enough. It's not over talking me, so when I'm also mining and doing stuff, I'm not getting overtooken. So right here, just mining it. The voice is coming in okay, so that's okay. That's good news. Alright, approaching nighttime in game, so might as well start crafting up something really quick and fast. Right here, right here. Go right here. Boom. Just a quick little house, right? Something quick, something easy, something safe. Okay. There we go. Protected in hidey hole.